Alright, what's up with the YouTube fam? I'm back again with another video. So listen, man, a couple of y'all was asking me what I thought about this whole situation with Brother Polite. And for those who don't know who he is, I really don't know too much about him or nothing like that myself. But I have heard of him before. I'm not one of them people gonna act like I ain't never heard of you before. That's lame. I done heard of him before, and I done actually seen a couple of videos floating around that went viral on Facebook. And he seems pretty knowledgeable, like a real knowledgeable brother. So, you know, but that ain't got nothing to do with what he did, though. You know, I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Let's get straight into it. So, and hit the like button too if you're new to the channel. If you've been rocking with the channel, either way it go. If you're rocking with me, hit the like button. But anyways, man, you know, basically, long story short, I remember a couple of months ago, people was asking me to do a video about him because a child went missing, and he had the child, and there was all type of ruckus going on about this child. And come to find out, it was a little girl, and that's what he's being prosecuted for. Well, he has been prosecuted, and he has received the sentence that he received. I think he gets 7 years in state jail, and he gets 10 years of probation after what he did to a child. Now, the story was that, what I've been hearing now, you know, and some of the stuff that I had to look up and read and stuff like that, but it was that the mother and him were dating, and he ended up just basically taking advantage of her trust with the daughter. And the daughter had just simply been in the house, and he went downstairs or something like that. I'm not for sure. I don't have everything, but I think this video will give us a lot more because they gave an impact statement. And for those who don't know what that is, it's when the people, the victims and things like that, they go ahead and give their piece, their thoughts, their opinions and stuff like that, and they can actually release their emotions, just get it off their chest basically. And it has a lot to do with the case as well, you know. But and with, you know, upcoming, you know, parole hearings, all that other type of stuff, you know, they might not, you know, they might deny you as parole, you know what I'm saying, with them type of impact statements. But yeah, man, he's been charged, and like I always say, bro, you gotta watch, you know, who you have around your children. Just because you're a smart, knowledgeable person doesn't mean anything when you know, fall victim to your flesh. You know, a brain is nothing when your manhood get hard, you know what I'm saying, when you feeling like you want to do something. You know, now that's not for me. I can just say a little boy, because men control their emotions, all the other type of stuff. But, you know, once you fall victim to the flesh, shit like that happens. But, hey, I got the whole, well, not the whole thing. I think it's like a part of it. The main things we need to hear, I got that in this video right here. I gave y'all a brief summary for those who don't know what's going on, because I know a lot of my supporters are really just not in tune with this whole internet thing. They come over here and rock with me, and that's what it is. I got an older audience, so you know, this what's up. It's all good. I don't mind explaining it, but that's what happened. Let's get into this and see what the hell going on. If you're rocking with the channel, make sure you hit that like button for me, man. Let's go ahead and get into it though.
Now, it is my understanding, Mr. Nowak, that you have gone over this plea agreement with your lawyer, and I want to go over it with you, not each and every aspect of it, but the major components of the plea agreement. But what I am going to ask is for the state to tell me the general terms of the plea agreement, and then we will go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation, condition of probation. The defendant will...
You say 10 years probation.
10 years reporting probation.
Okay.
The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay-away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
Defendant counsel going to be providing probation with the proof of the time policy in place?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of deliberate contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931. Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program, that you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page, next to defendant's initials, MN. Did you, in fact, affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now, it says on page 4, having read the above-mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Terrace, I, Michael Note, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noah. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement, in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including your lawyer, told you anything differently than what I just told you?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication affecting your ability to understand me?
No.
Is anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you to enter into this plea?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, the entry of this plea will have negative immigration consequences, including deportation and removal?
I understand.
You had the right, sir, to have gone to a jury trial where your lawyer had the ability to compel the attendance of witnesses on your behalf, the ability to confront and cross-examine the witnesses and evidence against you. You had the right to testify just like any other witness, or remain silent, and your silence could not have been used against you if you went to a jury trial. You also had the right to appeal any mistakes that I would have made during the course of the trial, and the right to hold the state of Florida to the burden of proving these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand, sir, that by entering into this plea, that you are giving up all of these rights, and we will not have a jury trial?
He knows.
Shit.
Have you discussed this plea with your lawyer?
Yes.
Has he answered all of your questions?
Absolutely.
Are you satisfied with your lawyer's services and advice?
Definitely.
Did the state provide all the discovery in your possession to the defense?
Yes.
Did the defense review all of the discovery in your possession with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do both sides know of any physical evidence containing DNA that would exonerate the defendant?
No.
Very well.
And do both sides stipulate to a factual basis for this plea?
Yes.
Definitely.
And the court has reviewed the arrest affidavit, makes the finding that there is a factual basis for the plea. Mr. Noak, are there any witnesses or is there any evidence that you wanted your lawyer to investigate or me to receive before entering into this plea?
No.
All right. The court finds that the defendant understands the nature of the charges against him and the consequences of this plea, that he has been represented by competent and effective assistance of counsel with whom he says he is satisfied. I find the defendant has knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waived his rights. All statutory fines, court costs, and surcharges will be assessed. Counsel, do you waive PSI?
Yes, Your Honor. Waive PSI.
Now, Mr. Noack, you do understand, as I mentioned to you before, that the state, as they had articulated earlier, you may be eligible for early termination as long as certain conditions are met. That means no violations. You've done everything that you were supposed to do. You've not been arrested for any criminal offense, and the state is in agreement with it as well as the court's ratification. On the other hand, sir, if you violate any terms and conditions of this probation, and that includes getting arrested for any other criminal offense, then you could be subject to the maximum period of time in prison, which by my calculations is 61 years.
Damn.
You do understand that.
Ooh.
And doing all of this, do you still wish to enter into this plea?
Yes.
All right. The court finds the defendant, as I mentioned before, understands the nature of the charges against him and the consequences of this plea, that he's been represented by competent and effective assistance of counsel with whom he says he is satisfied. I find the defendant is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waived his rights. All statutory fines, court costs, and surcharges will be assessed. Is there anything further as it relates to Mr. No? I do have on the Zoom that the victim's mother wanted to address the court.
Correct.
Okay,
And Your Honor, nothing more from the state except to let Your Honor know if you can unmute the victim's mother, and she will be listed as victim Noack in the Zoom, and she is requesting, pursuant to Marcy's law, that her identity remain anonymous. So for that reason, she will not be stating her name, but she will be making a statement regarding this.
Where would it
It should say victim, and then in parentheses Noack. No, sorry. You see it when it says victim Noack?
Okay, yes, 1 second. All right, you may unmute, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so what I'd like you to do is, well, you don't want to give your name, so at this point, just go ahead and you can give us an impact statement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Finna
Michael
get-
Nowak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster, a demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time you couldn't even help yourself. You told me you were going to be right back. You were going downstairs. You were going to grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was, and I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. You sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system. You thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby, you gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her, even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not, she feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I've moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How can you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man. A man who you can have a plethora of women, but you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never be able to fully trust another person due to the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. We'll say this. Although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place and I allowed it as long as it meant going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept the sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby. And yes, I satisfied your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are. I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person he knows you to be. A sexual predator. So rest assured, jail time equals jail time. And I pray that during your 10 years of sex offender probation, you actually receive the treatment that you need and it helps heal your sick mind and get the thoughts of being with children out of it. All you care about is your pretend image. But I know exactly who you are now. You want to be this public figure, but you want to do all your evil acts in secret. You're so self-centered. That's why the last time I saw you on February 27, 2021, you fought me. You tried to hold me hostage from taking my daughter to the hospital. I'll never forget that cowardly look in your eyes. I'll never forget it. You were so scared. You were so scared because you realized you messed with the wrong one. Your last words to me, you held me and said, please don't go. You're going to ruin my career. Well, today, September 6th, 2023, my last words to you are, I hope the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable act that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you. And although you've caused a tremendous amount of trauma for myself and my daughter, we'll always be superior of you, because a successful, honest career is something that you could never, ever have. We will both continue to stand against violence. My daughter will continue to persevere and be bright and intelligent and courageous young woman that she is. So Michael Nowak, I hope you enjoy prison, and God bless you.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your courage for speaking. It's heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to you and your daughter. All right. The defendant will be remanded to the Department of Corrections.
Yes.
He's given credit already. We can do CTS on the investigator, yes. He's giving credit time for whatever he's gotten in. Oh, he's here, yes. All right. Thank you.
But yeah, man, that's the end of that video, man. It wasn't enough for me to say in this. That was very, very touching. It was powerful, and I'm glad that they did get justice in this situation. People don't realize the damage that they cause people when they do certain things like this. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but your flesh can make a lot of people dumb. You know, you can do things that's not really logical. Now, everything is allegedly from beginning to the end in this video. They got something pertaining to him. I'm just going off of what I see and what's been presented in the course and the evidence that they have shown, and he has agreed to it and acknowledged it. And with that being said, you know, I don't have no sympathy for him. You know, I hate that all this knowledge going to waste. You know, people that get in these positions, you know, you can't fall victim to a lot of things. You know, you gotta stay a man. You gotta be a man. You know, you gotta hold up to what you portraying, because that shit gonna come out if it's not the real you. You can fake and shake all you want to, but your real character gonna bleed through whatever you trying to portray, or whatever you trying to hide, or however you trying to hide whatever you got going on. It's best just to be yourself, man. You know, it's more easier to be real and not doing no fake shit. And I'm just saying all that to say, you know, stop coming out here with these false, you know, narratives and coming out presenting yourself a certain way, and you're really not like that, you know. Now, when I say be a real self, that ain't got nothing to do with no damn children, because I think that if you're doing that, you don't deserve to be living, in my opinion, you know. And I hate that I'm saying this about him, because, you know, the shit that I was hearing years ago versus now is just crazy, bro. You know, the dynamic has switched. You know, it's all this other type of shit happening, and I ain't really rocking with it at all, you know. I know he got a lot of fans and shit like that, and there's gonna be people talking shit in the comments. I don't give a damn. You allowing people to do certain things and get away with certain things, you just as bad as them, you know. That's just how I feel about it. You are a part of the problem. Anything that you do, you know, it will be judged. So yeah, watch what you're doing, watch who you listening to, and watch out for false prophets, man. You know, I tell y'all all the time, I fall victim to a lot of shit. I tell y'all everything about myself to a certain extent, but I'm gonna let you know I'm not perfect. Shit gonna happen. I don't give a damn. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and try to hide and sugarcoat nothing. I say what I feel in most situations. You know, a lot of shit I do try to be politically correct and not try to hurt certain people feeling, but 90% of the time, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you how I'm really, really feeling. But overall, man, that's all I got to say about the situation. I'm glad they got justice, and I'm also glad that, you know, somebody like this is off the streets. It's crazy to be saying this until I heard what he was doing, and after that shit, you know, I don't give a damn about you. It is what it is. But hey, listen, if y'all made it to the end of this video, I really do appreciate y'all, and I'm thankful for all my supporters that's been here for me through the not posting and to me being consistent every damn day, damn near. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say, man. Watch who you believing in, watch who you know, taking for face value with a lot of things. People are full of shit. Trust me. So it is what it is. But hey, that's all I gotta say, man. Tell me what y'all feel about everything in the comment section, and I will holler at y'all later on another video. Alright. And yeah, my condolences to the family. I want to send some love to y'all also. I forgot to do that in the beginning. I'll holler at y'all later. Alright.